Books always make a thoughtful and affordable gift, and the best part is there are books to suit everyone on your list. Here this morning with her picks for the holiday season is Indigo Books and Music's founder and CEO, Heather Reisman. Always a good time when you're here.
It's a pleasure to be here.
So good to have you here. Let's start with this Steve McCurry book, this iconic
This is
book.
Actually my favorite gift book of the season. Steve McCurry is the photographer that did that famous Afghan woman. Remember the young woman with the eyes?
Yes.
So beautiful. The entire book is filled with the most exquisite photographs. It's the kind of book that you would just look at forever. And I love it. It's my gift. I'm giving this to everybody this year. Steve McCurry.
And wonderful just to have on the coffee table.
Oh, wonderful. And one of those coffee table books you will actually look at again
A conversation starter, and you just go through it and go from there.
Phenomenal. Absolutely
Wonderful.
The most beautiful book.
Wonderful.
And then lots of good fiction on the list. I'll start with my first one, which is Satin. And this is a book I say, as good to give a man as a woman. It's the story of Satin, who was the real-life Clyde. Remember Bonnie and Clyde?
Yes.
Satin was the real-life Clyde. So he was that notorious but very lovable criminal between the sort of early 30s and the late 40s, in and out of jail. He was basically the Robin Hood kind of criminal. Like, he wanted to take money from the big bad banks, kind of like how people feel today, and give it to people who were poor. It's an amazingly wonderful story, novelized version of the truth. Lots of truth, but part novel.
But part novel.
And one of our best books of the year.
And I love that you say it's good for men or women.
Good for men or women.
Perfect.
Satin.
All right.
Inside, which is another wonderful Heather's pick, and it was my pick for the Giller, only it didn't make the Giller pick. Everybody at Indigo says this is the book that should have won. Beautifully written book called Inside, about the kindness in a person and her willingness and her desire to help the people she meets, but what happens along the way. This is a book Inside, from the second you read it, when the main character discovers a young man who's tried to commit suicide while skiing down a mountain, right through to the end, it will hold your attention brilliantly.
It sounds fascinating.
Phenomenal.
Also fascinating. I've heard a lot about this. The Light Between Oceans.
The Light Between Oceans. If you could imagine that a book about two people on a lighthouse could be interesting, your first reaction would be no. But I'm telling you, The Light Between Oceans may be my favorite novel that I've read since the summer. Since Wild, which I absolutely
That's saying a lot.
Yes, one of the very favorite things I've read in the last couple of months. The Light Between Oceans will absolutely enchant a reader. I think it's if you're going to give one piece of fiction this holiday, give The Light Between Oceans. That's how much I love that
Sounds
book.
like a good book club pick as well.
It's a fantastic book club pick,
All right.
The Light Between Oceans. I'm your man, Leonard Cohen. So first, let me admit, I am a Leonard Cohen lover in every way, the music. But this biography is really a wonderful biography, and to the extent that anyone can excavate the life of Leonard Cohen, this book by Sylvia Simmons has absolutely done that. This is the book to give every single person on your list who you know is in love with Leonard Cohen music.
And probably even if you're not, right? An interesting read for those who may not know, even if you're not.
Of course, I can't imagine that there's anybody who's not in love with Leonard Cohen music, but this biography is absolutely fantastic.
Now let's move. Let's
go to the kids.
And I love the title of this.
Okay, Llama Llama Red Pajamas. So I have 11 grandchildren, and a number of them who are still in the age where I read to them at night before they go to bed. I am just telling you, Llama Llama Red Pajama, do not miss this book. Buy Llama Llama Red Pajama for any child between one and older. Even you can start reading that book at 6 months, and they will love it until 3, and they'll want to see it over and over again.
It had me at the title.
Llama Llama.
Had me at the title.
And then this book, which is one of my all-time favorites, it's not a new book this year, but I just love it, called Wild About Books. It takes place in the forest, and it's all about how the different animals get engaged in books. And there's a library of books in the forest, and all the animals come to the library. It's Wild About Books. I mean, that is the book you really want to give them. And then, of course, we come to, I have one other for little children over here.
Yes.
The kids who are about 4. Wild About Books start at 3 and go on. I have Stella. You know, Stella is the most famous fairy, so wonderful. And this is the full collection of Stella. It's the most beautiful book to give for Christmas, so I so highly recommend that. I don't want to forget for kids that the absolute gift of the season, the one they're all asking about, everybody wants, is Furby.
Yes.
Lots of Furbies this Christmas for the holidays. Everybody will go to it. And then we can't forget Kobo. We can't forget that this is the year of the tablet. So 2 great Kobos for Christmas, a fabulous new tablet that you can do absolutely everything on, and then finally, the best new reading, backlit reading Kobo.
Backlit reading,
Yes.
so you could read at night.
You can read at night, read in
right.
bed. The Kobo Glo, which it's called, is absolutely
Very cool.
fantastic.
Very, very
so that's
cool.
holiday picks for this year.
I have to mention, I just want to mention one more, this,
Ah,
because
yes.
I have a girl who was on the waiting list, waiting for this.
Diary of the Wimpy Kid.
Of a Wimpy Kid, the
Diary
third wheel.
of the Wimpy
That's
Kid.
another big one.
All right, so we didn't get to all our teen books, but if you go onto the list, on the CTV list, you'll see all the teen books as well.
Always nice to see you. Thank
Great
you
to see
so
you.
much for coming in.